Salutation, couch heroes. How are we doing tonight? I'm here with my friend Matt Lieber.
That's me.
How you
This is
doing,
this is
Matt?
Nick. Nick, say hi.
Hi guys, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Hanging in there, obviously. Today we're going to be talking about the Invincible series as a whole, as of June of 2021.
Great series.
Really great series. Looking forward to two more seasons that they already have accomplished in contract.
Yeah, coming soon to you
Yeah,
and your computer,
or TV,
or TV,
or
or a
phone,
tablet, or
or whatever.
phone,
But anyway,
or eyeglasses
about the
eventually.
series, Matt.
Yep, that's me.
Would you give it a rating? Would you give it a numerical rating?
Yeah. How about this? This series for me was better than WandaVision, and I liked
Yes,
WandaVision a lot.
I agree with that. I held WandaVision up on a pedestal,
How big
and
was that pedestal?
the pedestal was very narrow. Let me tell you. And
Very,
there's high
very
win.
narrow.
There's high wins because we have a lot of content coming out.
Yeah, well,
It's gonna
goddamn.
get, it's gonna get pushed over. Things are gonna climb to the top. I'm gonna have good days, bad days. I'm gonna feel certain ways about certain things.
So your score was?
No, I asked you.
Uh, I felt like this was a solid 8.5.
That's fair. I'm hovering around a hard eight, soft nine.
Really?
So you can
So maybe
even
like an
that out
8.5.
at a conservative 8.9.
Wow, that's high.
Yeah.
You, sh-
I'm very happy. I don't think that they would change much. They should change much. They did a really good job.
you know what they should change?
What should they say?
You're gonna disagree with me on this. They should
Disagree.
change using the word invincible as
No,
an intro to the cut screen for every
that's a
episode.
cold take, man.
I don't like that at all. I really
They
don't like that
don't.
at all.
It's like this
It's so
cute little
forced.
thing. It's not forced.
It
They
is
don't.
forced.
It's like cut to the title screen. It's not like, oh, I'm.
No, no,
It's
it
literally
kind of is though.
they say the sentence as is. They don't make it dramatic.
No, but it the way it's phrased, it's obviously been sculpted so that the word invincible is in the sentence.
But it's never forced as in like, oh, why do they have that scene for this episode in the season? it's it always makes sense
But
right
the
in.
conversation is forced. Anyway, we're off topic.
No, we're not. This is about the
This
show.
I know, but this is such a minuscule point. I'm just saying
It is. But all that to make it an 8.5, Matt.
it's a great series. Yeah.
Interesting.
Um.
Whatever. They did a good job. Great cast, really great animation on top of that.
Yeah,
And
for
I
sure.
love the challenges that they faced that a lot of people haven't really crossed that road before them. They kind of paved the path.
So what made it so good for you? And I'll follow up with my own thoughts here, but after you.
I believe you're going to feel the same way, but
Okay.
I like how they tied it into a very realistic setting and like how they should for like a Spider-Man with you have family ties and you have friends and you see the kid in school and it's really cool to see how people would react in the situations. I know we've talked about this before, and it's not just a
All the time.
Superman. It's not just a Superman that has no earthly ties, and it's just he's just there for his own moral reasoning. He wants to just kill the bad guy, and Superman's invincible for the most part, and that's it. End of story.
Almost.
He's gonna win. At the end of the day, he's gonna win.
Yeah, very good point. I think the way I would phrase it is sometimes the Justice League and DC heroes can feel very one dimensional. These characters, and more specifically, I think Mark, feels very three dimensional. And it felt like, the way like Spider Man felt, like you said, it's like these guys are heroes, of course, but they're also, they're fully fleshed out characters. They have weaknesses, they have flaws, they have challenges,
Mhm.
and they're not just the challenges of facing uh, Omni Man or what have you, or the next biggest supervillain. It's challenges of character, it's challenges of values, it's challenges of um, like family challenges. It's little things. It's school challenges. It's understanding commitment and responsibility. Like it It reminds me a lot of Spider-Man in that sense, which I think is
Yeah,
awesome.
they did a really good job. And another thing is that they didn't just create all these super powerful beings that are either going to be good guys or bad guys. You have these great characters like Damien Darkblood that come in maybe for like 3, 4, 5 episodes in there, and they push the plot along just as well as any of the main characters.
Yeah,
And he
that's a
doesn't
very
even
good
speak.
point.
He doesn't even speak in complete sentences, and I love the guy.
He speaks enough.
And I hope that we do get another taste of him, another lick of the guy.
Would you say that's your favorite character of the series?
I would say he's top three.
Hit me with top three. What you got?
We know we got Damien Darkblood. We know we got I believe his name is Donald Ferguson, which is like Cecil's right hand man
Mm-hmm.
because of like how little.
Donald, the man himself.
Yeah, I mean,
The guy's a
he
legend.
might just be like this like underdog in my head, and I'm sure other people feel a different way about him. But that one scene
He feels like he doesn't
where,
belong in the series. Like the way he looks and acts, like it's hilarious.
yeah, he
You
just
know?
like he comes off as like this background guy that's like, oh, he's just Cecil's guy, you know, he's his buddy from college or wherever he is, and that scene where he sacrifices himself without even hesitating to get like a shot, an explosive shot on Omni Man is just heartbreaking. And then obviously I got to go for the front runner here. Without much thought, I love what they're doing with Mark. He's not a complete
Okay.
he's not a complete fool. He's an underdog. He isn't like just overhyped or overpowered, and he doesn't just complain about certain things. He has real life problems, and he's handling it. He's a high school kid. He's handling it like an adult.
Yeah, and those are good. Those are quality picks.
Yeah, I can agree. What would you change?
I mean, me personally, like Alan the Alien, but more
Okay.
like a humor character than anything else.
Yeah, very
Uh,
excited to see him again.
I like Mark. I think he is obviously the protagonist of the story, and he's so fleshed out, you know, in his flaws and his issues. It's awesome.
Yep.
Um, what else? I
How about
also
the Guardians of the Globe, the original?
the original. We got him for like 30 seconds.
I was gonna say, were you upset that you didn't get to see more of them?
Um, yes and no. Uh, like I think that fight scene where they all get absolutely demolished and murdered, like sets the tone for the entire series.
I would like to
So
say I've watched that scene probably 10 times at this
yeah,
point.
it's disgustingly good.
Yes.
Um, so it's like, yes, I wanted to see more of them, but given how crucial that scene was to set up the rest of the series, not just from a plot perspective, but from like, okay, like this, like that scene shows you this is not just a comic book story. Like this is, you know, it's gonna be bloody. This is gonna be gory. This is gonna be like it's like more real, more grounded than anything that you've seen before.
Yep.
Um, so it's hard to like it would be hard to continue the story with this and without having that impact.
That's fair.
Um,
And what's funny is that all through that first episode, you don't get a hint of that kind of gory, realistic view. It's like all the aliens are gun repellent that we see, like the twins and everything like that. And there's no real big gore. And then they close out the first episode with that, and it just catches everyone on their heels.
yeah, it was brutal, man. I was not expecting it at all.
Yeah.
I thought what was gonna happen was like I have no idea. I just thought it was gonna be like a training exercise or like some invasion was coming or like I did not expect to see Omni Man just like butcher these individuals.
Yeah, and I like how things like that are not predictable even throughout. I mean, we know the whole goal of Omni Man at this point, right? But each episode, it's like, oh well, now he's probably going to do this. He's probably going to do this. They did a really good job with separating the scenes
Oh,
and
you know
really
what?
taking it
I
out.
want to say Omni Man also may be a top character for me.
Omni Man.
Yeah,
Well, you're going to be bored during season 2 because I predict that we're not going to see much of him.
that's probably fair. I mean, he may show up. Actually, you know what? Well, first off, I think it's really cool because they like you can visibly see him like his shift over the series. Obviously, at the end, he's like a man, he's a maniac, but like you can see him get more and more kind of like psychotic about, like
Yep.
everything is kind of coming down around him. He's not ready for it yet,
Hmm.
from his family to kind of his job and like the world and whatnot. And you kind of see the cracks in his armor, like emotionally, uh, and him trying to influence Mark and fighting with his wife, etc.
Right.
Uh, and it's cool to see them do that over the entire series, and then eventually that culminates when he splits apart the Immortal.
Right. And he's the Superman of the series. He's that invincible alien that everyone assumes that he's there to save them from any evildoer. But we got the complete opposite of that. And it's
Yeah,
awesome to see that they break down his emotion side of it, how he has to
I think you're right
take
that he may
family.
not show up really at all. I think if we do see him, it'll either be him just like destroying a planet with like almost like a way to make up for him leaving Earth,
Yeah.
or we see him back at his home planet explaining the situation.
I would
And
love to see either. I could definitely see both. On his way back home, he needs to blow off some steam and maybe get some credit.
um, but yeah, super character. Uh, very very cool to see what they're doing with him, and
Hmm.
the series itself has been fantastic. Uh,
Yeah,
so I think we have to talk about that last fight a little bit.
I
I
agree.
mean, we must, right? That was crucial.
Yeah, I mean, it was that a whole like
I think it
almost
was
an
an episode
episode
and a
and a
half,
half.
right?
Yeah,
Um,
really well choreographed. I love how they throw them. I mean, it's realistic that they wouldn't just stay in one city. And obviously, when they go into the city, they just demolish everything in their path. Subway, building, doesn't matter. They end up in a field in a matter of seconds. That's how it would be, I'm sure. Because if they throw something, that's how fast it's going to go.
dude, it was effing brutal when they went through the subway station and just like held Mark out and they
Oh,
just
in
like
slow
ran through
motion?
people. Yeah,
That is disgusting.
it was.
That is
I couldn't like.
gross.
And in the scene before that, you had the building kind of falling over and he was trying to help that person and the building fell over and then he sees the arm and it's like just the arm. It's like, dude, oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
brutal to
They
watch.
didn't have to put that in, but I'm glad they did.
Yeah, I love arms. Um, um, I just think the way they've set this up, I think is what they're like. I think the way it's going to go eventually is that Mark may not be the strongest, but there's something that like being a human or like partially human that when you get like it's like almost like the Hulk factor. It's like the emotional part of it. You get
Hmm.
like powered up from it. Because there are multiple times in the series where he gets like really really angry and
Oh
like
yeah,
almost like powers up from it. Um, like when it's him and Titan versus like the mob kind of scene uh, against his dad.
yeah.
Uh,
You see flashes of it, and he's only going to get stronger because you think he's only had his powers for it's realistically a couple months now.
it's crazy, huh?
He might not have anyone to train him, but I mean, he's a young kid. He's going to be developing for sure.
Yeah, puberty.
Puberty, right? Is that what they call it? So let's talk about who is. If we know that the dad is not coming back,
we
if
think,
maybe we don't
we
know it,
think.
he's most likely not. It'd be cool, whatever they do. I have faith in them. But if we're not seeing him, we saw a nice little taste of what season two does have in store for us. What are
Yep.
you most excited for?
Uh, I think there are two. The first, obviously, Battle Beast. The guy's a monster. Like
Yep.
maybe like one of the more powerful people in the universe, just like showing up to beat the shit out of him,
Hmm.
and then just leaving. And then, like I mentioned to you, kind of in their pre-show, like it's crazy that happens. And if you look carefully, you can kind of see Omni Man just like watching it all go down. Like he doesn't make a move to help his son, doesn't do anything. He just like it's. I don't know if it's because he's testing Mark, or what I hope is the case is that maybe he's kind of scared of Battle Beast's powers.
I think he's hiding the fact that he is scared. Battlebeast is supposed to be one of these really powerful characters that we're definitely going to see again.
Yeah,
And I don't think he had a scratch on him during that fight, and he was going up against the Guardians at that point, which were the teenagers and Robot. But that guy is a bad mamma jamma.
so there's that. I think you bring up a good point there. Like we didn't really touch on the Guardians at all, but they really developed over the course of the season as well. So it'd be kind of cool to see where they're at next season.
and what robots doing.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
that was a pretty cool, interesting side kind of like adventure.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Totally overlooked very easily.
and I really like the point that they make where at the end where it's like this has devolved into Mark versus Omni Man, and the other heroes like they recognize how powerless they are. Like in that scenario, they are just us. Like they're just humans, basically.
Yep.
It's crazy.
They
Um,
just have these abilities and that's it. They're not just gods.
yeah, they can't compete with the same level.
Yeah.
Um, so Battle Beast was my number one. My number two, I don't know if this will be a season two thing or a season three thing, but like the kind of like that last scene we see with Alan the alien, where they talk about his background and his dad and whatnot, and Alan kind of talks about how people are trying to fight back against Viltrumite. Like I would love to see Alan the alien and Invincible like team up and just like beat the crap out of some people.
Yeah.
Um,
That'd be great.
those are my two. I think I'm most looking forward to.
Nice. I wonder if we're going to see anyone else from Viltrum come to Earth for either like a scout or just to check up. Maybe they don't hear from Omni Man, so they send someone, and maybe it's not someone so strong. It's more of a messenger, and they just like maybe take him for prisoner. Maybe just kick the crap out of him, like you said.
Yeah. So the way I kind of interpreted Omni Man's explanation of it was he was like one of their top kind of officers, like one of their top kind of like cadets, like top 10 basically. So
Mhm.
it sounded like there were definitely people stronger than him out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Um,
we got a glimpse of like his boss, quote unquote. So like a
briefly, I think, yeah,
commander.
when they were like fighting,
Yeah,
like the Civil War type thing.
yeah, and we can assume that he's still alive because I think they age slower as they get older,
Yeah, yeah.
which is also a really cool twist to see what they're gonna do with that moving forward.
Um, but yeah, like there's so many different ways to go here. I think there's also well, what are you most excited for? How about that? Let's do that first.
I really like I like the twins. I like what they're doing. It's not like a big part of the show, but they're always going to have them on the side, and I just like I know it's not a main part of the plot, but it makes me it's very interesting. Their music and everything like that. Whoever they're cloning, who are they working for next, and to see if they're going to run into robot again to any upgrades or another body or something like that.
Yeah,
And
I thought it
it'll
was
be we'll
cool
see him in a couple episodes. That's
that
all.
it seemed like the I'm just gonna call them the GDA, the Global Defense Agency, and
Yep.
Cecil were having troubles bringing back Immortal, but the
Yeah.
twins were able to do it themselves.
Yeah. That's great.
Um,
And
and
a total,
obviously he
totally
died,
like,
but
yeah, right. I totally like out of the blue too. I mean, we didn't know throughout the whole series that they had the head or they were trying to do that,
yeah, they had no idea.
and then it just comes back for a quick little like punch and jab and a decapitation.
Uh, decapitation is head, right? What happens? What do you call when someone gets split in the middle?
Darth Maul, I think.
Oh, come on,
Maulination.
Jesus. Um, what else is there? There's the
They're
Martians,
Martians, right?
and there's also that alien race that invaded two times. And then Omni Man went to their planet and like destroyed them, but they're still
Right.
around.
The ones that aged a little differently.
Yeah, so they'll probably be coming back as well.
We'll see though. I mean, he only left them with he destroyed their planet.
There is a scene though, like
Oh, you're right. Their
almost like an
boss
epilogue scene
lives,
briefly. Uh,
and he's gonna be pissed off. But does that mean
and
that?
we're forgetting also Titan is there too.
Oh, right.
She's the
Yeah, that's
guy
a bit like the
the
crime
who
side of
gets
it.
yeah exactly yeah.
And I think that he'll have a tie with Battle Beast. I think if we're seeing Titan, we're gonna see Battle Beast.
Really? Okay.
I think so. I think there's like a little Sinister Six side. Um, don't sue me. I don't know if I could say that,
You're
but
sued. It's coming for you.
sued. And whatever number they have, I'm assuming is about six.
Could be
I
six.
think
Could be seven. Could be
it was
four.
like
Five.
you know electric gal or guy, and they had Battle Beast was part of that fight, and they kicked the crap out of the Guardians, and I am excited to see them back in action and doing whatever crime or maybe some stuff off planet because this was a very earthly based season. Maybe they'll have the cojones to expand a little bit more and take on bigger challenges. Obviously, with Earth and Mars.
Yeah, no, very very valid point. I don't know how many of those characters actually survived though, besides for Battle Beast.
That's fair. That was a big fight. But Titan and Battle Beast are out and about, and they're definitely going to be in a couple of episodes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Titan kind of is an interesting foil to Mark, and his like the way that he goes about protecting his family is
Yeah.
interesting. Um, but yeah, lots to see, lots to be, lots to do, lots to we.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. One last point. Titan is like a very comparable to Sandman in Spider-Man 3.
The one that
Both
was a
his,
bad
his
movie.
both his power and his kind of motivation.
His power, no, you're
His
crazy.
power is to kind of turn into rock, and sand is just small rock.
But Sandman can like manipulate sand.
Titan can manipulate rock on his body. Sandman
Only
can
on himself
manipulate
though.
They can both manipulate their material on their body.
I feel like you're trying to put a circle in a triangle like hole.
Sometimes circles fit in triangles.
I mean that's you're right. You win. All right, end the stream. See you guys. No, super excited for the next season.
Yeah,
I
can't
think it'll be
wait.
really fun. It'll be cool to see kind of Mark hopefully continue to grow up and get stronger. It'll be fun to see the Guardians of the Globe continue to kind of develop their friendships and their powers and teamwork, which
I
towards the
can't
end of
wait
the
to see
season.
how they get rid of Amber because they should.
Okay, that's a hot topic. Um, Excited to see when they take Adam Eve. She was a pretty cool character.
Yep.
Um, yeah, just really pumped for the kind of what's coming next. And um, I don't know if you have any closing thoughts here.
Let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, as
If we missed
always,
anything, there's
hit
obviously
that.
so many things that we missed and we couldn't cover in a normal podcast setting. But plug
Yeah, for
away.
sure. As always, thanks for watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, leave a comment if you enjoyed or hated us or could smell me or anything of the sorts. Um, as always, you can find us on Spotify. Hit the podcast. Yeah, always appreciate the views. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate my friend Nick.
That's me.
And that's us from us out here at the couch. Bye bye now.